this time of year in the fall season. I love when the weather starts to get cooler and things on the farm start transitioning into that slower pace of fall and winter. I feel like I've been talking about that for a long time now because that is something after a very busy summer that I always look forward to. But we still have quite a bit going on, and this is going to be a big week here on the farm, and I'm excited to show you guys what all we have going on as we are coming out of the summer season and going into the fall season on our farm. So on our farm, we keep a herd of cows all year long and laying hens. Otherwise, we don't raise any other animals like pigs or meat chickens through the fall and winter months. We just have the cattle and a few laying hens that time of year. So that's why things really start to slow down, is I just don't have the everyday chore of taking care of the meat chickens or watering the pigs or moving the pigs to new pens. So all of that goes away in the fall and the winter months. And we also don't have farmers markets every Saturday anymore. So those three things really make it feel like things just slow way down. Also, things get easier with the cattle herd during that time of year. And that's a lot of what we're going to be doing this week, is getting our herd all back together and working them through the chutes, getting everybody caught. We have some things that we have to do before we turn them out for fall grazing. That's why today I'm getting out a little bit earlier than normal and getting the meat chickens fed and watered. And this will probably be one of the last times that you see me take care of meat chickens until about April or May of next year. So we won't have any of them through the winter months. These guys are all about ready to go. It'll be about a week and we will take them to be processed locally. And then we'll have chicken inventory in our freezer pretty much as long as they last. So hopefully that will get us through the winter time. I don't necessarily love taking care of the meat chickens every day, but it's just not that hard of a chore. And they do really well for us at the farmers market, in our online store, but mostly just how much they help our pastures. So you can really see here where the meat chickens have been all summer long. Those strips of the dark green grass is where the tractors have gone through, and hardly any weeds or foxtail has come up in those areas because of how beneficial they are to the soil. So the meat chickens definitely serve a purpose here on our farm, and honestly, we wish we could even do more of them for all that good natural fertilizer that they provide on our pastures. I found that starting our day off with a big breakfast is always the best thing that I can do for me and my toddler, because sometimes our days get so busy and I'm not sure when we'll get back inside for lunch, or even if I'll have time to make a big lunch. So lunch is always very simple, but I usually elaborate breakfasts. I keep it simple, but I try to make it something that's very filling and will stick with us. And today, as I mentioned, my dad's coming out so that we can do a lot of work with the cattle. And my mom is actually going to come up too to watch the kids on days when we have so much to get done. It's nice to have her here to watch the kids so that we can focus on all the things that we're doing with the cows. The very first thing that we are doing today is bringing in our fall herd. So those are the cows that have babies during the fall of the year or late summer really. So those babies were all born late August into September. Our plan to bring them back up to the barn from this back pasture is to sort of lure them up with the tractor and hay bales because the babies are very used to us coming out and feeding them every day. And then if we can get all the cows to come, the babies will likely just follow us back up to the barn. Our cattle tend to follow us and move very easily around the farm because of how much rotational grazing that we do, so they're just very used to that. And then once we get them all up into the arena, we found that the easiest way to sort off the babies is by feeding the moms in those troughs because babies don't know about grain, so they don't really care to come up to the feed bunks. But while all the mama cows are distracted, we can get most of the babies into the smaller pen, and then that way we can work them one by one through our chute and put an ear tag on them. We just bring the babies one by one up through the chute, and they take a lot of time because, as you can see, my dad walks with them all the way up, and then sometimes we can catch them in the head catch, and sometimes we just get them in the smaller area and put an ear tag in their ear. We try to do everything obviously as gentle and smoothly as possible, but also quick, just so that we can get the tag on them and then get them right back out to their moms. The cows in the background, you can hear them. They don't like when you take their babies from them, obviously. So this is just the easiest way for us to quickly get an ear tag in their ear, and then this way we can keep a good eye on them as they grow. And when you're trying to keep track of this many calves, especially when they're all the same color like ours are, you have to have a way to identify them, because if one would start to get sick or needs attention, we have to know which one it is so that we can keep a really close eye on them amongst the herd. So we try to just keep this process super stress-free, and as soon as they all have their ear tags, we will turn them all back out to pasture with their mamas, and we will take time now just to go around and watch them all pair up and make notes on which calves belong to which cows, and those records will just really help us to manage our herd and keep a good close eye on everybody. The second big task that we need to accomplish before we can get all of our herd back together is to bring our spring herd. So these are the cows that have babies every spring for us. We are pulling them off of the cover crop that they were grazing all throughout the late summer and into the fall. So now we're pulling them back off, and we are going to wean their babies from last spring. And then we also have some yearlings with this group, and those yearlings is actually the beef inventory that we will have for next year. So it's time to start getting those yearlings off the group and start their finishing diet so that they are ready for harvest this coming year. So this group of cows have been separated from our fall group because We wanted to keep a closer eye on all of our fall cows while they are having babies. But now that the babies have all been born and we got the ear tags in their ears so we'll be able to easily keep track of them, we're going to put all of our herd back together. So this group needed to come up to our barn lot also, so that way we could sort off the calves we're weaning and sort off those yearlings that are going to go on to the finishing phase. And then we're just going to start getting everybody back together and start on rotating our pastures again for fall grazing. We have an area up near our barn that has several pens, so that way we can bring the whole group in and then sort them out easily into different pens. This just allows us to manage our herd when we need to get them all up close, and if we have any sick ones we need to treat, we can do that, or like we did yesterday with putting tags in the baby's ears. So we have our farm sort of set up with this, I guess you could say, sort of as the hub of the farm, and then all of our pastures are all around it. It seems like with cattle, you need to, about every season, bring them all in and just do some work. You have to wean calves, sort off yearlings. If you have older cows that need extra attention, there's just always a time when the whole herd has to come up together and you have to do some work like this. But for the most part, they're just out on pasture all the time. And then we have a few days a year where we have to do a lot of work all at one time just to kind of manage everybody. We always let the wean calves be fence to fence with the mama cows for a couple days when we initially wean them, so that way it's less stress on them. And these calves were older, so the weaning process went super quick, and then once they were no longer worried about their mamas being close, we took them to another pasture, actually at another property. And then now we got the whole herd back together as one group, and we are going to be focusing on rotating them every couple days to new pasture around the farm for fall grazing.